How many times do we see God's people indulging in misplaced worship? They're going to church. They're doing all the right things, seemingly, right? But at the end of it, their ideology, their worldview doesn't come from the scriptures. It comes from the culture. It comes from whatever it is that they're indulging themselves in, whatever it is they're being influenced by. That's misplaced worship. 100%. Okay, I have a few points for you guys. You ready? Here's point number 1. When we refuse to submit to the real God, we will inevitably worship the fake God. When we refuse to submit to the real God, we will inevitably worship the fake God. Now, these guys, the only reason they were doing this was because they were blinded in their faith. They had a blind faith. So what causes blind faith? Stubbornness causes blind faith. Again, it's not for the lack of evidence. It's for the lack of submission that creates stubbornness, hard-heartedness, hard-headedness in the lives of a so-called believer, right? This is how it happens. And so ask yourself the question, what false gods may you have in your life that might be influencing you? It might not be on a major scale or a major level. It might be something subtle. It might be something small. But what is it that may have attached itself to your life that takes you away from true 100% worship of the real God? I remember I had a childhood friend. And he went to the church that we went to, that we grew up in. But the problem is, he hardly ever came to church. But whenever he did come to church, you know what he did? He sat all the way in the back. He brought a lot of candy with him. I'll never forget. He always chewing he had the best candy. And so he always, I was like envious of this guy's candy. He had the best candy. And so, but what he did was he spent the whole time during church talking and laughing and cracking jokes and eating candy, distracting people around him, right? And so what was happening was he was never ever receiving the word of God that was coming from the pulpit. Because he came to church to do his thing. He didn't come to church to submit to God's thing, right? And you know what inevitably happened? He ended up leaving church and adopting some weird belief system. So when we don't worship the real God, we will inevitably worship a fake one, right?